Hello there, and welcome back to the Daily's Double Shot.
I'm Shanisa Jackson.
And I'm Marina Taylor.
This week we've got a great show lined up for you.
Up first, you can see our coverage of the gun buybacks in Seattle.
Then come with us on an exclusive tour on the new Husky Stadium.
David Crispin reviews side effects in Film Focus.
We'll review the Chinese Student Scholars Association's Spring Festival Gala.
We'll peek into a day in the life of a key Humans vs. Zombies player.
And we'll take a look at a Sasquatch preview show that happened at the Neptune this week.
All this coming up
on the Daily's Double Shot.
Ooh, what is that? Chinese.
Yeah.
I'll see you there.
Okay.
Last week, the city of Seattle hosted a gun buyback.
People could bring in their guns and exchange them for gift cards that Amazon had donated.
Our reporter set out to discover if this program is really effective.
It's been over 20 years since Seattle last tried a gun buyback program when about 1,200 firearms were relinquished. In response to the recent gun violence tragedy in Connecticut and frequently occurring gun-related crime in the Seattle area, including the U District, Seattle and King County launched a gun buyback program on Saturday, January the 26th at downtown Seattle, where gun owners could turn in unwanted weapons for Amazon gift cards worth up to $200 for each weapon. The weapons turned in will be either melted down or used as rebar.
Today's event is actually a collaboration between the City of Seattle and King County and a bunch of private sponsors, businesses in the area that all came together. Police Department, Seattle Police Foundation, were all part of this. Because of recent events, I think guns sort of are on the forefront of everyone's thinking right now, sort of a national topic. A lot of people were thinking all across the country, you know, what can we do? So, City of Seattle hasn't done a gun buyback program for over 20 years. The thought was, well, maybe we should revisit that, see what the response would be.
However, many studies, including a research conducted by UW professor Frederick Rivara on the 1992 Seattle gun buyback event, indicates that the effect of such program is insignificant in reducing gun violence. What about some of the gun owners that came to the gun buyback event? Do they also think such a program is ineffective?
Yeah, I don't believe any of these would have actually made any difference in the crime rate or anything. And this has actually been proven in the past one, gun ban. My uncle and my dad were doing the exact same thing. That's where I got the idea. This history repeating itself. And the crime rate still didn't change at all. And the people that they wants to show up just aren't showing up. It's hard for them to get guns, and when to give them up, they're not going to give them up for here. And also Amazon gift cards for criminals, give me a break, you know? Come on.
Also, some private gun buyers outside of the event location expressed their unwillingness to see some of the valuable firearms turned in and destroyed.
Even antique guns, collector guns, you know, things that are part of our history are going to be destroyed by this. We're trying to save them some time. You know, we've talked to people where they're at a 3-hour wait right now for gift cards. And oftentimes these gift cards, you know, don't even equate to the value of what they're turning in.
Still, the gun buyback event has received a huge response from a large number of gun owners. We even saw a military-used surface-to-air missile launcher, also known as Stinger, at the scene. All the gift cards for guns with a total worth of $70,000 were sold out 2 hours prior to the event's scheduled end.
Based on the overwhelming response today, it's pretty much guaranteed that there will be future events like this in the near future. I mean, we had to shut down early because of the response.
Will future gun buyback programs draw this much attention again? Will they lead to an actual decrease in the gun-related crime rates? These are still the questions that remain to be answered.
I suppose only time will tell if gun buybacks are really effective in reducing gun crime.
Up next, we take an exclusive tour of the renovations happening at our Husky Stadium.
Since the massive renovations of Husky Stadium began in 2011, UW men's football and its fans have been playing every game away from home, awaiting its grand reopening for the 2013 football season.
This time last year, we sold 37,600 tickets. To date, we have sold 42,600 tickets.
Now that the completion of the stadium is quickly approaching, the Double Shot attended an executive press conference and a tour of the current renovations. On November 7th, 2011, after 91 years of playing home to the Washington Huskies football team, the iconic Husky Stadium was demolished to begin a lengthy $260 million renovation process.
So let's go straight out and look at the stadium.
444 days later, stadium renovations are still taking place, but significant progress has been made. Numerous structural problems with the stadium called for the renovations to be made, specifically in the lower bowl, which was suffering from wear and tear caused by age and moist Seattle weather. Some of the primary changes that are being made consist of a new student entry and seating section in the west end zone, a grand concourse, replacement of bleachers with individual seats, a new press box, a private lodge and suite seating, football offices, renovated parking structures, and the lowering of the field itself by 4 feet.
We've raised $51 million of our $50 million goal, but we're continuing to raise all the way through the end of the project, and we're going to continue to do so for the next 6 months.
Once completed, the stadium is expected to be a game changer in terms of the student athletes that we convince to attend the UW. With a top-of-the-line stadium and brand new locker rooms, it's more than likely that this will attract some of the top high school talent in the nation. Woodward maintains that the project is still under budget and will be ready for the Huskies' 2013 season opener on August 31st against Boise State. We'll see you there.
I'm really stoked to play at home again next year.
Me too. Up next, we'll take a look at a Sasquatch preview that happened at the Neptune Theater.
Sasquatch, arguably the largest music festival in the Pacific Northwest, has already begun to build the hype surrounding the event. On Monday, the 4th of February, the Neptune Theater, located on 45th and Brooklyn Ave, held a free concert promoting the festival and announcing the lineup. The Neptune itself was converted in 2012 from a movie theater to concert venue, and events such as the Sasquatch Release Show represent its efforts to branch out to its new and younger demographic. The 3-day music festival is held at the Gorge Amphitheater in eastern Washington, but does not take place until Memorial Day weekend in late May. Still, crowds lined up around the block on Saturday to get tickets for Monday's concert. Unfortunately, the theater manager at the Neptune was not too excited about the cameras we had brought and did not allow us to bring them into the venue. So we hung out outside and collected attitudes on what brought throngs of students to the Neptune on a Monday night.
I'm not sure if I'm going to go to Sasquatch yet. I came here to see Built to Spill. They're one of my favorite bands, and yeah, they're playing the party tonight.
What am I doing here tonight? I came here because I'm really excited about the Sasquatch lineup. It's my first year that I get to go, so I can't wait to see who's going to be on the lineup.
The crowd was split between diehard Sasquatch fans awaiting with bated breath the lineup announcement, and those not necessarily attending the festival but excited to see live music in the neighborhood with a chance of seeing a local legend.
For me, this is just about Macklemore, but I know a lot of friends that want to go to Sasquatch.
Macklemore and Ryan Lewis did end up performing 3 songs at the event, which created a ton of buzz and made tickets tough to get.
Well, I came here to see Cody Chestnut and Built to Spill. Heard a little buzz there might be some extra bands coming. I got here a little late, may not be able to get in, but I'm hoping for a miracle.
Although tickets had been sold out since Saturday, more than a few people stood outside on a frigid January night in the hopes of catching some of the excitement that was wafting around the Neptune. Those who did get in were treated to live music from Built to Spill, Cody Chestnut, and Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. The entire night built up to one moment, however. the release of the official lineup for Sasquatch 2013, which was put together into a short video presentation that had fans howling in delight. Alvin Giles, a member of Cody Chestnut, who did not seem particularly concerned with the context for his performance, had a few words to speak on what the evening meant for his band.
Yeah, because I mean, well, for me, you know, we're on tour, so I don't know exactly what we're doing the day we're doing it. We just come together and just make it happen. So I didn't, you know, we've been running, so I really haven't had time to really research what's going on, but we just know we're here to do our thing. So they point me to the keyboards and then tell me to have at it, and that's what I do. So we do our part, so when we dish it off to them, they can do their thing, you know. So we definitely want to give the people what they want and really set the tone. We set the bar high, so that's just what it is.
Whether these bands playing at the Neptune will actually increase ticket sales for Sasquatch will remain to be seen as tickets go back on sale this Saturday, February the 9th.
You know the ceiling can't hold us.
Wow, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Up next, David Chrisman reviews Side Effects, starring Rooney Mara, Jude Law, Channing Tatum, and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Hello, I'm David Chrisman, and welcome to Film Focus. Today we're taking a look at Steven Soderbergh's latest film, Side Effects, starring Jude Law, Rooney Mara, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Channing Tatum. I have to apologize if my explanation of the plot isn't very in-depth. Side Effects is, at its core, a thriller, so I don't want to give anything away. The film follows Emily Taylor, played by Rooney Mara, a woman dealing with depression due to the arrest of her husband, Martin, Channing Tatum. Emily begins seeing Dr. Jonathan Banks, played by Jude Law, about some antidepressant medication. He, in turn, approaches Emily's former doctor, Victoria Siebert, played by Catherine Zeta-Jones, about Emily's past problems. From there, we follow what happens when the medication doesn't quite work as stated.
I can get us back to where we were, and I promise, I can make that happen.
Okay, baby.
So you're feeling better?
Yeah, much better.
Speaking in the vaguest terms possible, the story was actually quite interesting. While it was not the most original plot ever, Side Effects was well executed. The film was well paced overall, though I found the first third or so of it a bit slow. It can also be divided into almost 3 equal parts, and I found that I started enjoying the film more and more the further it got along. First part wasn't that great, second third was more interesting, but a little bit bland. However, the final third is where Side Effects gets really good.
It's all gonna go away. It's gonna follow you around forever.
I had no idea this was going on.
The acting was fairly good across the board, however, some performances were better than others. Of the lead roles, Rooney Mara and Jude Law both gave the best performances, something that, while not surprising given their acting ability, is still noteworthy. Channing Tatum's performance, on the other hand, was somewhat disappointing, however, at least did a good job as someone other than a muscle-bound thug. Finally, there's Catherine Zeta-Jones. While her acting was still very good, it didn't quite stand up to Jude Law and Rooney Mara. However, I tend to attribute that more to the writing than to Zeta-Jones herself.
You lying to her, he was lying to me. I would never be here if it weren't for you.
One thing I was pleasantly surprised by about Side Effects is the camera work. Soderbergh uses the camera to convey the character's emotional states and thoughts very well, something you don't see a lot in mainstream Hollywood film. This really helps give you a better sense of Emily's depression and how it affects her, as well as Jonathan's things you'll find out if you watch the movie. While Side Effects doesn't use these techniques in the best possible way, it's a little bit heavy-handed at times or altogether unnecessary, it's nice to see someone in this part of the industry trying, even if it doesn't always work out.
He swept me off my feet.
At the end of the day, Side Effects is a decent film. It's nothing special, but it does have some nice things about it. The acting is quite good, especially Jude Law and Rooney Mara's, but there aren't any performances that will be remembered in a year or even a few months. The camera uses a couple techniques that are a little bit out of the norm, but not always in the best ways. The story's pretty good, but suffers from a slow first act and a bland second one. The film opened today, February 8th, and all in all, it's far from perfect, but if you're looking for a movie to go to, you could do worse than Side Effects.
Thanks, David.
Up next, we get to take a behind-the-scenes look at the UW Chinese Students and Scholars Association's Spring Festival Gala.
On the evening of February 3rd, the UW Students and Scholars Association held their annual Spring Festival Gala in Kane Hall. The event pulled in a full crowd, with performances ranging from traditional Chinese dancing to modern music. The program was nice, and one could see that a lot of planning was put into it.
For the preparation for this event really has been since October last year. So we started organization meetings and picking different venues and then start contacting performers and everything. Start from there. By the end of November, we already have a pretty good sense of who will be performing and what kind of shows we will have. Then we will nail down all the details. And in this January, really everyone is working their best to try to make this 120%.
While talking to Jake, he also discussed the planning committee.
Yeah, we have a pretty big committee. I mean, we have like 30 officers in this committee, nail down different details. And then part of them really focus on the performing, part of them focus on the advertisement, the ticketing stuff. Some of them focus on to draw more sponsorships from outside, and as well as the UW fundings like ASUW. So.
In China, their New Year's is known as the Spring Festival. This year it starts February 10th, so although to some it may seem odd to hold a spring festival in the winter, this event is actually on time.
Oh yeah, this event has been our tradition for probably 20 years. So every year that's the biggest event for our organization because Spring Festival really is a big thing for Chinese people. And and every year we really make this our flagship event.
With planning a big event such as this, finding the right performances is always crucial. We talked to Ming Li, a student at UW Bethel, about how he got involved with the festival.
Basically, I was attending a singing competition that also hosted by this association. So I'm the top 8 singers of 60. So basically, they invited us to participate for this performing.
The festival combined traditional Chinese culture with modern Chinese culture. When picking the right song, Lee also had this to say.
We want to give really happiness to the audience. So we chose a really happy song, happy Chinese song.
Overall, the UW CSSA's Spring Festival Gala was a very successful program and definitely was a learning experience.
Wow, that looks really fun.
Marina, have you heard of an original zombie?
What?
Like in Humans vs. Zombies.
Oh yeah, they're the zombies that start out on day 1.
Well, we got to tag along with one for a day and to look at what exactly they get into.
Cool. Let's watch.
It's cold and early. It's really cold and early. But someone has to take those humans. This started 4 years ago, and since then, many of us on UW's campus have seen the orange bandanas on zombie heads as they chase the orange bandanas on human arms. This particular Monday morning, we arrived just before 6 a.m. to meet up with Caroline Masters. She is one of the 2 OZs, or original zombies.
Well, today my goal is to kill as many humans as possible and turn them into flesh-eating zombies. And I am at an advantage because they can't see who I am in the least. Original zombie means that I am here from the start and that I've never been a human, and I am the people who infect everybody else and start this whole dilemma.
A freshman at UW, Masters first organized a Humans vs. Zombies game at her high school, then tried her hand at the game here.
I played last quarter. I lasted about a day as a human, and then I didn't get into it that much as a human. As a zombie, I only got 2 other people. But today I'm planning on getting my exercise and running around constantly, so they better watch out.
But quite a few humans didn't quite heed her warning. We met up with Masters 11 hours later to see how her day was going.
I cracked and I went to class because I was tired and because I found out that there was a participation point activity that there was, so yeah. But but besides going to class and I went to lunch with my friends, then I've pretty much just been walking around. And not many people have been playing this quarter, so there aren't as many humans as I would have liked, but it's still been relatively successful.
But she definitely found success when she spotted some humans during our interview.
So far, actually, would you excuse me for a moment? No, well, when they're all like in a big group running away from you, it becomes really obvious when a random person just starts running at you.
So after converting 14 humans to a more decayed state, we left Masters and rejoined her on Friday, the final day of the game. She recounts for us the Wednesday mission, a large event for all players.
So we met in the quad about 10 minutes beforehand, and I was really surprised to learn that there were only 6 super zombies in this game so far. And hopefully a few of them upgraded because of the mission yesterday, but we were taking a poll and only like 3 of them had over 3 kills each. So they looked like they were a long ways off. And it was pouring down rain. It wasn't nearly as nice as this. And so I was running down the steps over by Mary Gates and up in there, up to the quad, and I slipped so hard and I like busted my knee and like scraped over my finger and everything, and so that was pretty intense, but I personally got 2 kills, so that was fun.
She's also learned quite a bit about the players.
So that was my first real introduction into the zombie community, because apparently there's a group of people every quarter who go into the middle of Red Square and suicide every single quarter, and that's like a really close-knit group of people. And so it was really interesting getting introduced into that group of people this quarter, and just getting to know, like, it's kind of like a different culture that they set aside each 3rd week of every quarter, like they are a certain person, and then they're a completely different identity for the rest of their lives. And I thought that was really interesting.
Well, that looks like it's it for us.
We'll have a brand new episode in 2 weeks, airing February 22nd.
In the meantime, check us out online at our new website, dailyuw.com/doubleshot.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time
on the Daily's Double Shot.